rating for now. These guys are not happy with me. There you go. That was revenge right there. You can see it light up, and I can use it. Similar animation to Rend. But that is damage and I guess a heal for each enemy hit. So it definitely is better to use in large groups. And how much? It looks like it doesn't have a fury cost, so I can just use it.
Health returns.
You can see with this frenzy skill, my attack speed goes way up, especially while dual wielding now instead of having the two-hander, as I continue to hit things. I'm actually pretty low on health here.
I have been hit.
Oh god. Almost dead.
I won't do that.
Nope, I'm dead. Alright, well now I get to find out what happens when I die. Revive at last checkpoint. That's right here. And I'm back. So it looks like I do take damage to my armor and items, so I can go repair in town, and there's a gold cost associated with that. So basically it just gives me a gold penalty. You will notice that I do retain all of my items. So death in like Diablo 2, you would drop all your items on the ground, you had to do a corpse run and go find your corpse to get your items back. I'm still very much in fighting shape right now. Now, the reason I couldn't just use a potion to get out of my near-death state is because potions have cooldowns associated with them, so you can't just spam potions whenever you want to recover health. You can only do it once, and then well, there you see, it has a 30-second cooldown associated with it, so I have to rely on abilities and followers, on my skills and followers to actually stay alive. So basically the focus is more on skill use, on skill in battle, than it is just slamming potions, which I mean, I think that's a good change.
Time.
What's this then?
What is this? This may be just another kind of random dungeon, so I'm gonna head down here and see what awaits. As if I needed more attack speed, I have it. So hopefully I can tear through stuff pretty quickly here. In case you haven't been watching the whole stream, which I'm sure you haven't, because it's a lot of Diablo to watch, and I don't know if everyone necessarily wants to spoil the game for themselves. But my name's Charles for IGN.com. I am just playing the game solo for now at about 10 a.m. Pacific. Oh, hey, buddy. At about 10 a.m. Pacific time, I will be joined by some other people, and we'll be giving out copies of Diablo. Which I will not be doing now. So I'm not giving out copies yet. If you are looking for free copies, it will be between 10 a.m. and noon Pacific time.
One of those dirty scavengers stole an ancient, extremely rare scabbard from me. I followed him in here, but then I lost him. Perhaps you could find it for me.
Ancient and extremely rare, you say? Sounds like just the thing for us.
So I appear, unless I'm heading in the direction of the main quest, which I don't think I am, I appear to have just found some random side quest sitting down in a dungeon, which is kind of cool. A little more structure to the random events.
I'm not even tired.
Oh, Fortune Shrine. So now I have magic and gold find bonus, so I want to kill stuff as quickly as possible to keep slamming that lever on the slot machine and see if I can get better stuff.
That's quite an enemy over there. We are in for a fight.
Another Waller.
Need more time.
I can't think of any games that are faster than this. That was pretty crazy. And you'll notice if I can keep kill chains going like that, I do get experience bonuses, so there is an actual reward for playing well, for really chaining together kills and causing a lot of destruction all at once. And basically my build right now just relies on attack speed because the Frenzy increases my attack speed with every hit up to a cap of 5 here. And then I have Rend, which is this attack that does damage over time to anything around me. I can leap to close gaps on enemies. And then once I'm in a fight, this is triggering occasionally Revenge. That does additional damage to enemies around me and also heals me depending on how many enemies are around me. So it's definitely to my advantage to be directly in the middle of large packs of enemies, hitting them to build Fury, and then expending that Fury with Rend and hitting Revenge when it triggers. So I'm pretty comfortable with the build I have now. It basically supports the kind of play style I want, which is kill everything really fast and just get right in the center. Magic frogs.
Thanks to you. I'd have never have seen this again without your help. You'd like to buy something? Buy? Whatever happened to gratitude?
I'm carrying too much.
Looks like my inventory is full again.
This scabbard is a rare treasure. Its inscription reads Talek the Defender in archaic lettering. He was one of the ancients who guarded Mount Ariat until the shattering of the World Stone. A true warrior who gave his life to spare the world from the dark fate it has fallen to now.
All right, looks like I completed that mini objective, but I'm just going to keep exploring to see if there's anything else cool in here. You see I also get experience bonuses for killing a lot of stuff all at once, in addition to the chain bonus, which should be coming up after I kill that guy. There you go, I got 130 additional XP, so pretty decent bonuses for that. Yeah, this is just absolutely obliterating the weaker enemy types here.
pack is full.
Time to loot.
Need more time.
Okay, it looks like that is actually the extent of what's going on in this dungeon. I could buy this from this guy if I wanted to. Doesn't look like he has anything terribly amazing. I can't do much with this item, and that's actually really expensive. I don't know if I want to drop over $5 grand on this, considering it's Witch Doctor only. I guess I could turn that around and sell it on the auction house, but considering I'm not actually confident in my ability to sell anything on the auction house at this point, since everyone's just kind of starting out, I don't know how eager they are to spring on auction house items when they can probably just find them. So I'm not going to spend my money on that. And I would also have to sell it for over $5 grand, so I don't see that happening. Considering so far that does seem like quite a bit of money. And I'll just teleport out of this dungeon and be back where I was. And just 1 second while I check something. People asking about on Twitter whether if you haven't played a Diablo game before, if you really need to know the story before jumping into this one. I wouldn't say you really need to, but if you do want a refresher on that, there's actually one on IGN. It's just called Diablo in 5 minutes. It's on the Diablo object page on IGN, or you can just search YouTube for it. And yeah, it just basically gives a quick recap of what's going on. If you're not familiar with Diablo, he's one of the prime evils of the world. There are 3 prime evils, experience bonus, and there are 4 lesser evils. You killed 2 of the lesser evils in Diablo 2, and you also killed the 3 prime evils, who were Baal, Mephisto, and Diablo. Those are the primes, and you killed Andariel and Duriel, who are the lessers, leaving 2 lessers for this game, who we've heard about one so far directly in-game, Belial, who I may or may not be progressing towards right now. And then the other one is Asmodan, who, if you go watch the Black Soulstone trailer that Blizzard released a while ago, actually, it features Asmodan. He's the, the big fat guy. Demon, I should specify.
My pack is full.
Let me check my map here. Still not quite in the courtyard yet that I'm looking for. But I did just hit a checkpoint. So before I head any further, I'm going to go back to town and I have to clean out my inventory. So I can just town portal. There are no town portal scrolls. In Diablo 3, you just, early on, you just get this ability to town portal. There are also no scrolls of identify. If you find a really rare magic item, You just right-click on it in your inventory, and it'll be identified right there. So I do have a bit of extra money here, so I'm going to train up my Artisan. There you go. You have to do that 5 times before you can sort of get to the next level. He's only at level 2 right now, but doing that every time will unlock new recipes for stuff to build. And I can't use that until level 17, so I have a while to go there. Those are still a little bit higher than me. That's 16, so I probably don't need to dump money into all that just yet. I will salvage the magic items I've collected, unless one of these appears to be super useful. Now this actually gives me life back. That's kind of cool. No, I'm probably gonna not use it. Yeah, most of those bonuses are not things that are way better than what I'm currently using. So I'm just gonna basically disenchant this stuff. I mean, it's called salvaging, but it's basically just disenchanting and breaking them down into component parts. You can see here that I can then turn around and put into new items. I can't use that heavy axe until 15, unfortunately. I would like to use that. But I think I have actually built most of this stuff for myself, so I don't think I have any major upgrades to do. Yeah, I'm actually pretty good on all that. So I am going to save money and save materials and not bother upgrading myself that time, and then get rid of all these junk items. If you're wondering about the auction house for items that you can't use, but that you think are pretty good, and think others might have a use for, the real money auction house is not available. But you just you basically just leave the game, go to the main menu here. Whoops, that was not the right button, and go to the auction house. And I have 2. Oh, did somebody buy something? Somebody did buy something. So I made money. I didn't see if that notification actually came in, but there you go. I was successful. Surprisingly, the one I priced ridiculously low was sold. And then my other one is still active, so you can see your active auctions here. You just go here to sell. You can pick from your inventory, pick from your shared stash, and just set a starting price and a buyout price. Or you can search for new gear. So if I really did want to search for, say, let's say a new one-hander, which is what this is set up to right now. You can set level ranges, preferred stats. Here you pick, I want attack or arcane power on crit, bleed chance, all these different modifiers for items. You can specify a bunch of those, minimum values, legendary or set items, which are of course the super rare ones. Yeah, set all those parameters and then search for your items. And it looks like everything is really expensive right now. In terms of what I can actually use. So that's what I'm showing right now, because I specified my specific character for the auction house. So the search is actually really well done, and it just brings up stuff that I can definitely use. And there is a lot of it on here already. There's a ton of stuff on the auction, and it's all way out of my price range. But yeah, if I wanted to get a gold item and dual wield these things, then I could. If I had way more money than I currently do. Wow, really? 150,000 gold for this. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what happens once this turns real money and people actually start paying for this stuff. That's just in-game gold right now, so it's kind of inconsequential. Although it is not inconsequential once the real money auction house turns on, because you can sell gold for money as well, so wasting in-game gold on items like that isn't necessarily a good idea. Of course, you could just ignore the real money auction house entirely. You don't have to deal with it if you don't want to. You can just stick to the virtual gold one. But know that if you do give away like that amount of money for an item, then that person's probably just going to turn around and sell that gold for real money as well. I guess it all really comes down to what actually sells better. On the real money auction house, if in-game gold is going to sell really well, although I assume that price is going to regulate pretty quickly because so many people are going to be doing it. or if really only the super rare items are the only thing that's really going to allow you to actually make money. So it looks like I found another cave here, and I am definitely going to kill these guys first. We've got teleporting abilities. But I am going to go into that cave to see if there are any extra treasures in there. Of course, there's really no downside to exploring any of this stuff. Yes, it takes a little bit more time, but oh, and it looks like we have another little quest line hidden in here. But yeah, I mean, basically all you're doing is increasing your chances of finding cool stuff. Oh, this is actually an event. So these events will just happen in different parts of the world, and we'll just sort of switch up the gameplay so that it's not just kill everything, it's kill everything within some kind of vague context. Or more specific context than just, yeah, the vague context of standard, just kill everything you see. Those guys do a lot of damage. I'm glad they're dead, because I almost got killed there. So difficulty level slightly starting to ramp up. Still, in general, pretty easy, but yeah, when you do run up against those more difficult enemy types, you have to be more mindful of how you're using your skills and where you're moving on the battlefield.
Have you ever robbed a tomb?
Well, is it really robbery if they don't need it anymore?
If you did just tune in and you're looking for copies of Diablo 3, I'm not giving them away right now, but I think in about half an hour, a few other folk from IGN will be joining me on the live broadcast of Diablo 3, and we'll be helping to hand out copies. If anyone's looking for a free one. But yeah, I'm just going to continue playing as a Barbarian. There are 4 other classes in the game, but I just wanted to try and get as far as possible with the Barbarian while I'm live streaming so that you can check out content that's further into the game, since the closed beta had been running for quite a while and there's lots of video on the interwebs about the beta content. I didn't just want to run through that again with the various classes. So my plan was to stick with the Barbarian. Unless you hate that idea, please let me know on Twitter. You can reach me, at least for now, on CONYETT on Twitter.
He'd be dead if it weren't for you, brave hero. Take these elixirs for your trouble. We're going back to town.
Don't worry about it. Brothers should keep together.
What makes you say that?
Nothing.
Potential hints at backstory there for the scoundrel. Yeah, as you play with your followers, who are just, in this case, AI-controlled helpers, they do have little bits of storyline, and they'll talk to you actually quite frequently during gameplay. This is, of course, a co-op game, so I could play multiplayer if I wanted. I just haven't opened up... Anthony Gallegos, also from IGN. Anthony and Ryan Clements are both online, also playing the game. But yeah, you can play with others. It's pretty easy to just drop in to a match from somebody on your Battle.net friends list. I'm just trying to keep it more of a controlled environment. And since I did start pretty early this morning, I started up at 6 a.m. Pacific. I've definitely made more progress than they have. You can see I'm just all about close-up damage right now. Fast strikes, getting in the middle of groups. It looks like these guys use these war drums to actually power up people around them. I didn't actually notice that until now. And I'm level 14, higher than the beta cap. And I have another active skill category, that's pretty big. I'll explain why in a second. And I have a rune for leap. That's awesome because I've been using leap for the entire time. And I got weapon throw, so I now have a distanced, I have a ranged attack. Although I don't know if that's necessarily going to be that useful because that's really not how I'm playing right now. But let me check out what this leap rune is. So I just get a big armor bonus after I land a leap. So that actually plays in perfectly with what I'm doing right now, which is leaping into the center of enemies to start a fight, using Ren to do damage over time after building up a little bit of Fury, which is over here, which is my resource. And then Revenge, which has a 15% chance to trigger every time I'm hit. I use that to do more damage and also heal myself depending on how many enemies it hits. So doing this, and then that, and then Revenge to do tons of damage, keep myself healed, and now I also get health back. Oh, I'm sorry, I also get an armor bonus. Yeah, you can see you can just chat with friends who are on your Battle.net list and join the games if you want to.
By the sword
and I'm gonna see. I can take a potion here and then retreat a little bit. You can see if you're watching my health globe, this Revenge definitely has a significant effect once used. I think I actually did that pretty successfully. I'm not quite sure what this rune on the ground is, but I'm gonna blow up these totems.
When will summon their brethren no more.
But I do believe my actual quest goal is just right over here to the northwest. So I'm just going to head over there and see what's next. I think I'm right near the end of Act 1, so there should be a pretty major boss encounter happening soon. I did fight the Skeleton King earlier, who's kind of a mid-boss, I guess, but the actual main boss of the act, who at least in Diablo 2 were very, very challenging, should be coming up here.
Now this is more like it.
That makes travel a little bit easier. Alright, so I have an experience bonus, so hopefully there are some enemies on the other end of here. Oh, they have a fear effect. Don't put me through the door.
What would you do if I stopped following you?
Enjoy the solitude.
Sorry, I just did a bit of internet wrangling there. But yeah, I believe this should be one of the ending encounters, or at least coming up. Maybe I have to go through an extensive dungeon beforehand. Oh god, there are so many enemies. Oh no.
There is a new piece to the game. A girl named Lee. My spies tell me she is the child of the witch Adria, who is hiding in the deserts of Chaldeum. Bring this news to the master at once.
Still recharging.
Okay, so that actually worked out pretty well. And this revenge skill is pretty amazing, considering it heals and does huge damage.
A fetid, pallid malaise has fallen over the manor we now call home. Young Albrecht seems to be enjoying himself in our new home, however. Perhaps I am simply suffering from an imbalance of humors brought on by the recent change of climate.
Humors aren't real. Oh, I totally missed the table. Oh my god, this table is impervious. Oh, looks like this may be a major boss fight.
You cultist dogs.
Didn't even mention me. Delay him while I prepare his demise. Depths clear.
No, she's actually going to fight me. If you haven't been watching the whole stream, she's shown up multiple times throughout the course of Act 1. And I'm assuming she's probably going to be the end boss. I doubt I would fight Belial at this point, because she hasn't really made an appearance so far.
Maghda!
Oh, she disappeared again.
Did horrible things to us.
They are dead now. But there was another prisoner. A man in rags.
Yes,
We're good.
the golden eyes. I saw Maghda take him into Leoric's old torture chambers. Below us.
Maghda dies today.
Alright, so let's see if I actually fight her through here, or if it's just checkpoint. Oh, enter Halls of Agony, so here we go. Yeah, boss dungeon incoming. So I'm going to head back to town and figure out what's going on with all this stuff. I think that bow is really better than what I currently have equipped. It is not. So I'm not going to bother with that. I have a bunch of junk items, some rings that I don't think are necessarily better than what I have right now.
It doesn't look so bad to me.
Not really. Alright, I'm going to give him an experience bonus ring, just so he levels a little bit faster. What I did also get when I leveled last time was I got a new tactics slot, or I'm sorry, new ability slot that I completely forgot to take advantage of, so I will do that now. But I now have weapon throw. So this is basically a distance attack. It consumes fury, but I can use it here in case an enemy's running away from me. I can throw the weapon at him and do damage. And then I also have, in terms of ranged attacks, which I'm not really using anymore, and I was earlier, this Ancient Spear here, which shoots out at a distance, does damage, and then pulls the target back to me. So I almost have... Oops, I actually wanted weapon throw in there. Just switch that up real quick. Again, this menu isn't the best. This is kind of a cumbersome menu. But yeah, eventually you unlock this 4th skill slot so that you can equip 6 active skills, and then you have the 3 passives, although I don't get my next passive unlock until level 20. All right, here we go. I assume this is going to be a 4-floor dungeon or something like that.
I knew Leoric was mad. This is just disgusting.
It's quite an enemy over there.
We got a champion pack. I believe this nightmarish descriptor on here means that they will occasionally fear me, although that hasn't happened with them. There you can see my followers' blind effect actually take hold. Let me check exactly what that does real quick. Yeah, blinds the enemy, so he's just kind of bumbling around there for a second. The followers definitely don't seem to overpower a fight. They're just kind of there to help out, which I guess makes sense. And when you do enter into a multiplayer game, I believe they actually disappear, so you can't take advantage of them. That's just for when you're playing solo.
I am convinced that some malevolent being is attempting to wrest control of my thoughts away from me. Voices direct me to horrendous acts, and there are times when I seem unable to control my body. Lazarus knows. This is certain. He looks at me strangely when he thinks me otherwise disposed.
I am badly hurt.
Oh crap. Particular environment type seems much more gruesome than the previous ones I've been to. I know a lot of people were upset about the art direction that Blizzard went with this, with making it allegedly more colorful, more WoW-like, as people like to refer to it. But there are blood and chains and all sorts of grisly stuff all over here that harkens a little bit back to some of the environmental designs in Diablo 2, where you had torture chambers and disemboweled bodies and things like that were pretty regular sights.
I'm healed.
So I know that sounds grisly, but it is good. As a Diablo fan, that type of thing is good to see. Like, I'll see if I can find another basket of heads, but I blew up a couple of those earlier that were just item containers. So I don't think I've actually used weapon throw yet, but that's what it looks like. He'll just, and you can do it actually quite frequently, as long as you have Fury. So that is the advantage of weapon throw. And it looks like it has a snare effect. Yeah, it does slow enemy movement for a limited amount of time. And I'm gonna die. These are champions, and they seem to hit pretty hard. Oh god. Oh, what happened? Jailer. Alright, first time I fought these guys, looks like they can imprison me. I have actually quite a bit of time before my... damn it. I totally died. Followers can die, but they will like auto revive after a while, so it's not like you don't have to go back to town and actually revive them.
The games look totally different on the two.
So these are the halls of agony. Charming place, truly.
So Charles, the stream, like, how you said? Or not?
My thief sense is tingling. It's quite an enemy over there. We are in for a fight. Fine work.
treasure might be the finest thing in the world, there's nothing like it.
You speak a great deal.
It's one of my better qualities.
Okay. If you've been watching me play so far, it's been about 4 hours of gameplay, and we are about to transition into game giveaway mode with Damon Hatfield from IGN and Mike Nelson from GameSpy. So that will be starting up in just a sec, and they will be here, I believe, from 10 o'clock to around noon, where we'll be giving away copies of Diablo 3, including a collector's edition.
Council begs me to reconsider. I will continue with the executions of those I find guilty of plotting against the kingdom. Perhaps they fear my eye will fall on them and discover their heinous, treasonous plans as well. Lazarus is the only one I can still trust.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGN's Diablo 3 live stream. I know it's been going on for quite some time already. Charles the Trooper over here. But now we're going to transition into the hosted portion of the program. I'm Damon Hatfield. I'll be your host today. This is Mike Nelson from GameSpy.
Hello.
He sits right next to me. That's Charles Onyet. It's the guy you've been watching play Diablo 3 all morning. Charles, how you hanging in there?
I'm doing really well. Thankfully, this game is awesome, so I'm more than happy to continue playing it.
I know, we had the idea to stream Diablo 3 all day for like 12 hours, and we approached Charles with it, not really showing how he would react, and he was delighted.
Yeah.
He was like, yes, you want me to play Diablo 3 for 12 hours? Yes, I can do that for you.
One of the better assignments I've been given.
So we started about 6 a.m. and they're about a quarter of the way through the game now, is that right?
I think I'm actually right towards the end of Act 1. I believe I'm basically in the last dungeon stack of this act, and there are 4 acts in Diablo 3, like there were in the base version of Diablo 2. So I think that means I'm basically a quarter of the way through the game, assuming all acts are of equal length.
And are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I think I mean, there's definitely some differences, well, a lot of differences between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, mostly with the way skills work and things like that. So I can like, I'm playing a Barbarian right now. There are 5 classes in the game, and as you level with any of the classes, you just unlock skills as you level. So you don't actually have to put skill points into anything. You don't put them into attributes. You can just see the unlock levels on all of this stuff. So that makes it opens things up so that you're not locked into a specific character build right from the beginning of the game. You get access to everything that the class can do, and you can swap in all the different skills whenever you want to. And then using these runes that you unlock for the skills, you modify their functionality. So you actually change what the base skill does. So like Cleave normally will hit multiple enemies at once, and then if I put Rupture on, everyone that gets killed actually explodes. Nice. So it's definitely to my advantage to put Rupture on. But it'll be cool, like, I mean, stuff unlocks all the way to the cap. So like this one doesn't unlock until level 52. So it's going to be a long time till I can use the provocation modifier on this, but hopefully it keeps all the skills relevant all the way throughout the game, so like some don't become like, oh, well, why would I ever use that? That's a low-level skill. So yeah, that's a pretty cool mechanic, I think.
Well, viewers, for the next 2 hours, we're going to be answering your questions about Diablo 3. Just tweet us at IGN with the hashtag Diablo3. We'll answer them live right before your very eyes. That also automatically enters you to win a copy of Diablo 3. We've got 3 standard editions and 1 collector's edition here. I don't know if we're on the picture-in-picture screen right now, but we got the fancy-looking collector's edition up here on the table. So you can win this. All yours. Now, Mike, you played a bunch of the beta, yes?
Yes, I did.
And you actually got in last night at midnight when you were like the one person.
Yeah, I managed to. I logged in exactly at midnight. I played for about 30 minutes, and then I was like, okay, well, that was fun. Let me see if anyone else has been playing. I log out and I check Twitter, and it's absolutely covered with Error 37 messages that I guess I was one of the lucky 2 people that got to play at exactly midnight last night, but from what I understand, they've cleared up most of those server issues this morning.
Yeah, it was fine for me this morning. I mean, I actually went to sleep early just because I figured the actual launch window, there would be a bunch of people trying to log in simultaneously. Right. And I didn't log in until about 4 a.m., and it was fine at that point. Oh my god, I just leveled.
Oh my god.
Let's see, I got a Hammer of the Ancients rune, and I don't know, that might be it. Nope. Grappling hooks for Ancient Spear. That is absolutely happening right now. That is a skill I have been waiting to use after browsing their higher level skill lists to stuff that wasn't available in the beta. So Ancient Spear the Barbarian is generally kind of a close range attacker. So he's better up front, good at dealing damage in large groups. That's how I've built him right now. I do have Weapon Throw, though. That is this. It expends Fury, which is my resource. And I can throw a whole bunch of them. There's really no cooldown on it. But it is a ranged attack. So if I want a different ranged attack in there, I can go into my skill menu here and swap out Weapon Throw for Ancient Spear, and then modify it with grappling hooks. And then, so what Ancient Spear normally does, here, I'll just show it in its unmodified form here. You just have to wait for a little cooldown to expend, and then you can use the skill. So maybe I should just use this on an enemy. Oh god, there's a huge enemy over there. So let me try and gain some distance here. And so it pulls
awesome.
the enemy over to you. So it's sort of like
Get over here!
Yeah, exactly. It's almost exactly like Scorpion's attack from Mortal Kombat. But it is pretty cool because if some enemy AI behaviors will cause them to run away from you, so it's a good way to keep them close to you. And you also get additional experience for chaining together kill chains. So that's another way to keep things going in case there's nobody directly close to you. But if I use grappling hooks on here, I throw 3 spears instead of just 1. So yeah, that should probably happen.
Hook it up, Charles.
Yeah, I just modify that and the cooldown, and now it's available. And yeah, it's that easy to sort of swap between skills.
And you're telling us right before we started the stream, you can't pause the game. So while you're setting all this stuff in the menus, you could potentially still be attacked at any time. Yeah?
I could, yeah. I mean, unless there may be a pause function that I'm not aware of in single player. You can play co-op as well, but I'm just playing solo, and I have my AI-controlled follower here with me.
Yeah, but typically, like, enemies won't just, like, appear.
Right.
So it's like once you clear, like, a general room, you could probably just hang back, equip the powers that you want to use in the upcoming area. And that's awesome.
That was pretty great.
And like being able to swap the different skills, it's like that. Like Charles was mentioning, it's a major step up from what was offered in Diablo 2. In Diablo 2, you would gain XP, and then you would have to set like what choice you want your character arc to be. So for example, if you wanted to have proficiency in dual wielding axes instead of swords, you have to pick that, and once you've made that choice, it's solid. It's ingrained in your character. And for some people, depending on, if you're not paying attention to how you build your character in Diablo 2, you'd wind up, getting into a situation where you've got a broken character and you'd have to restart the game. So, and so that's what's great about Diablo 3 is the ability to freely swap in your skills. Like, oh, hey, this enemy doesn't seem to be, as receptive to like for example the spear attack that Charles just showed.
Yeah, and I mean one of the downsides I think of Diablo 3, although maybe it won't seem like so much of a downside once I get higher level, is just that maybe you don't have as strong a sense of class identity when you do get to that higher level, because everyone has access to the same skills. But at the same time, if I'm going to spend tens or over 100 hours playing with the same character, then I'm at least happy that I can use all of the different skills available to him, and I don't have to level like a whole bunch of different barbarians just in order to experience everything that the barbarian can do.
Right, and it also helps out when you're trying to look for an online party with other players, like because you could spec your barbarian to be like either like could you create like a healing barbarian, do you think?
So far, I only have one healing skill, which isn't a direct heal, it's Revenge, that it has a 15% chance to activate when I'm in combat. It doesn't require resources, it does damage in an area of effect, and returns health to me, depending on how many enemies it hits. So if I'm in a bigger group, I get more health back, basically. But I don't know if I have any direct heals. I do have I have 2 followers unlocked right now, the Scoundrel and the Templar. And the Templar, you can just switch them in and out in town whenever you want to. And the Templar does have a direct heal. So he can follow me around and heal and then regenerate. But yeah, like you were saying, if you do join a group and you need to switch up your skill set to accommodate however everyone else wants to play, then yeah, you can easily do that. So I'm in town right now. I don't know if I can show off like the blacksmithing and stuff like that at this point. You do have to run back and forth from town pretty frequently to sell off your gear that just sits in your inventory.
Do you have to find like warp places to do that, or is it?
Yeah, so you can find, I have a whole bunch of waypoints unlocked, so you can just instantly travel between any of these places. If you really want to return somewhere, you feel like you missed something while you're exploring, you can do that whenever you want to. You also have a town portal, which you can use basically at any time, and there are no town portal scrolls in Diablo 3. They took those out. It's just this button. There are no identify scrolls either. If you find a really rare magic item in your inventory, it'll just have a question mark over it, and you just right-click, and then you you discover its properties right there. So they're basically, you don't have to worry about carting around scrolls or books to contain scrolls.
Yeah, that took up valuable inventory space.
It did, and the inventory space has actually been modified somewhat as well in that basically items just take up 1 or 2 slots. You don't have to do the inventory Tetris that you did have to before, where things would be all sorts of different sizes. Maybe that changes later on, and I just haven't seen it yet.